license? Empty it. Why am I going to lock you up, you know? Empty it. May I arrest you? I'm going to lock you up. Will you come outside? Take up in the bag. And then I go tonight. Hey, come here. Come here. You, come here. Let's get in. Let's get in. And I cause them big right there? No, come and suffer. Your parents are come and station for you. Go right this way back there. Hey! Go way back there. My ID. What? My ID. Your parents, I can call your parents. Call your parents.
JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and to share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. Man found in Dempsey Pen, St. Catherine. The police are investigating the death of a man whose body was found in Dempsey Pen, Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Friday. The deceased has been identified as 23-year-old Labour Joy McDermott of a Spanish Town, St. Catherine address. Passers-by reportedly stumbled upon McDermott's body at about 6:10 a.m. in the vicinity of the Dempsey Pen Early Childhood Center. They summoned the police. Upon their arrival, the police observed what appeared to be gunshot wounds on his body. The Spanish Town Criminal Investigations Branch is conducting a probe of the matter. Men arrested following robbery incidents in Portmore and Harbourview. Swift action by the St. Catherine South Police on Friday night led to the arrest of two men who allegedly robbed a woman at gunpoint of cash and other possessions. The police say they seized a homemade shotgun and a motor car from the suspects. Reports are that at about 11:45 p.m., the woman was in the 7 East, Greater Portmore area when she was held up by the men and robbed. They reportedly drove away in a Nissan motor car bearing public passenger vehicle PPV registration plates. The matter was reported to the police and the car intercepted along Port Henderson Road in Portmore. The men, who are 40 and 45-year-old, are being held on suspicion of robbery with aggravation and possession of a prohibited weapon. The Portmore Criminal Investigation Branch has launched a probe into the matter. Meanwhile, the police are reporting that 3 men were arrested on Thursday, April 10, in connection with several crimes, including the kidnapping and aggravated robbery of 2 women in Harbourview, Kingston. Swift action by the Kingston Central Police, with the support of the Police Emergency Control Center, PECC, the National Strategic Anti-Gang Division, NSAD, and the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, MOCA, led to the arrest. 2 women were taken against their will after entering a taxi on their way to work on Tuesday, April 8. The men in the vehicle brandished guns and robbed the victims of their phones, cash, and bank cards. The women were later released in Pembroke Hall, St. Andrew, where they were rescued by the St. Andrew South Police. Following the report, NSAD detectives launched an investigation. The inquiries identified a Toyota Probox, the vehicle believed to have been used in the crime. Further intelligence work led to the vehicle's positive identification by the PECC. On Thursday, April 10, the Kingston Central Police intercepted the vehicle in the East Parade area of downtown Kingston and apprehended 3 males. A search of the suspects' properties by NSAD, along with a search of a vehicle by the Caribbean Search Center, uncovered several items, including 1 black Glock 19 pistol with a magazine containing 15 9mm rounds, 1 Taurus G2C pistol with a magazine containing 12 9mm rounds, 1 7.62mm round, an extended magazine with 27 9mm rounds, 2 imitation firearms, clothing matching descriptions from the incident, one grey ski mask. The 3 men are now facing serious charges, including 2 counts of kidnapping, 2 counts of aggravated robbery, 2 counts of possession of prohibited weapons, and unauthorized possession of ammunition. Their identities are being withheld pending further investigations. Truck driver fined $400,000 for causing deaths of 2 people. St. Catherine motorist Maurice Baker, who pleaded guilty to 2 counts of causing death by dangerous driving, was ordered to pay a fine of $400,000 or spend 12 months in prison in the St. Catherine Circuit Court on Friday. Baker was charged in relation to the 2023 deaths of Rikisha White and her daughter Rikaya Garrison. When he appeared before Justice Bertram Morrison, attorney Kemore McEachron submitted that although lives were lost, his client did not waste the court's time and that he was remorseful. He argued that a fine should be sufficient. Justice Morrison agreed that Baker pleaded guilty and showed remorse. He then imposed a fine of $200,000 or 12 months imprisonment on each count. Baker's driver's license was ordered suspended by the court. It was reported that on February 27, 2023, at about 3:35 p.m., Baker was driving an Isuzu motor truck along Walks Road when he lost control of the truck, which drifted into the path of a Toyota Probox motor car. The impact resulted in the deaths of White and Garrison and the injury of others. An investigation was conducted, which resulted in Baker being charged with 2 counts of vehicular manslaughter. He made numerous court appearances and pleaded guilty to the lesser offense of causing death by dangerous driving. St. Andrew man charged after allegedly stealing motorcycle. 20-year-old Richard Salke, otherwise called Prince of Constitution Hill, St. Andrew, has been charged with larceny of a motor vehicle in relation to theft of a motorcycle. The motorcycle was stolen along Cedar Valley Road, Kingston 6, between Thursday and Friday. The Halfway Tree police say that at about 3 p.m., a man parked and securely locked his motorcycle with a chain and retired to bed. He woke about 8 a.m. the following morning and discovered that the motorcycle had been stolen. The man reported the matter to the police and an investigation was initiated. Salke was reportedly found in possession of the stolen motorcycle in Augustown, Kingston 7. It was seized and was taken into custody, where it was charged on Friday. He is slated to appear in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on April 15. JLP Westmoreland Western aspirants vehicle vandalized. The Jamaica Labour Party's closely watched Westmoreland Western internal election campaign between the sitting Member of Parliament Moreland Wilson and the Council for the Sheffield Division, Dr. Garfield James, is said to have become nasty. The political rift in the constituency seemingly intensified Friday when a vehicle belonging to James was vandalized. The incident took place in Sheffield at around 9:51 p.m. Reports indicate that the left front door window of the vehicle was smashed during the final day of the campaign. The incident follows alleged threatening calls to the campaign team, which reportedly intensified in recent days. A report of malicious destruction of property was made to the police. Both James and Wilson are to square off in an internal election this Sunday at noon. The Little London and Grangeville High Schools are the slated election centres for the polls. Custos warns against rejoicing when gunmen are killed. While many Jamaicans have been expressing delight that the security forces appear to be turning the tables on gunmen, resulting in more than 80 people killed in alleged confrontations with lawmen since the start of the year, Westmoreland Custos Reverend Artley Perrin is warning against rejoicing at these deaths. Any killing, whether it is done by a civilian or by the state, is cause for concern, and we should not rejoice at the killing of anybody, even if the person is found guilty of some crime, said Perrin, in the aftermath of Monday's killing of 6 alleged gunmen in 2 separate incidents in western Jamaica. While not questioning the police's account of the 2 shooting incidents, one in Grangeville, Westmoreland, and the other in West Village in St. James, Perrin said his preference would be to see criminals surrender and have their day in court. The police have told us, and we have no reasons to doubt them, that many of those who want to go and apprehend have raised their guns towards them and they have had to retaliate, said Perrin. In some instances, we really can't blame the police, but we would wish and hope that things would be different, so that we do not have the number of killings, whether by police or by civilians, because there is really too much bloodshed in our country. In the aftermath of Monday's killing, scores of persons on social media came out in support of the police, said they were doing a great job in turning the tables on gunmen who have been holding the nation at ransom for too long, with more than 1,000 murders registered across the island each year. Listen, police now play. It is not time to be a gunman, because police are send uno to the maker, because they now give una a chance to face the judge to waste time and taxpayer money, wrote one person. Another person wrote, "Officer, good job indeed," which was followed by fire emojis to support the comment. Following an incident in St. James last year, when an alleged gangster was killed in a shootout with the police at a guest house in downtown Montego Bay, Senior Superintendent Aaron Samuels, the police commander for the parish, said the police are not in the business of celebrating the killing of gunmen. "We're always happy when firearms are recovered, but we're never happy when lives are lost, as we prefer when criminals surrender to the police," Samuels said at the time. "We'll never celebrate the loss of life. If in defending themselves and the people of Jamaica life is lost, it is usually because we have no choice." Perrin, who has been a long-standing advocate of community policing, said he was concerned about the fact that some of the killings that are taking place are happening in the presence of children. In some instances, the killings take place in the presence of youngsters, and that has a lasting impact psychologically on them and other persons who see these things happen around them, said Perrin. "So, we have to be very careful. Crime fighting is a long journey, not an easy fix, but it is something that we have to be concerned about and take steps to alleviate."
Good to see you, DSP.
Good afternoon, sir. I am DSP Vanessa Clark, Acting Commanding Officer for the St. Andrew South Division, sir.
How are things in the area?
Sir, since the start of April 2025, we have not recorded a major crime in the division. And this is as a result, direct result of the operational activities, the push, the concerted effort, the initiatives that we have put in place to ensure that we denied, or the criminals in our space deny their movement. We are working on displacing them, and we are working on deterring them from committing their criminal activities. Our efforts have resulted in a clear-up rate of 65% for murders and 59% for shootings. We had a little bit of a hiccup in the earlier part of the year, sir, but we still managed to clear up over 59% of major crimes. We are also working with our external partners, our community groups, to ensure that we provide a safe space for the residents in our communities, as also the business owners. So we are working in partnership with all the stakeholders to ensure our space is safe. We are aware that our violence producers are many, and so we have arrested a number of wanted men this year. We have also arrested a number of violence producers. We have also seized 34 firearms.
34?
Yes, sir, since the start of the year, sir.
Excellent work.
Yes, sir.
The St. Andrew South Division has always been a difficult policing area.
Yes, sir.
Difficult because of the communities that comprise the area, the demographics, a lot of young people in the area, and it is a highly commercialized area.
Yes, sir.
As well. The prevalence of gangs also another feature, and the JCF has been laser focused on reducing the number of gangs, and in fact I think that we have eliminated several of the gangs that are in the area. But what are some of the programs that you have to engage the youth? Because at the core of the crime in these areas, and I'm particularly familiar with this area because my constituency is in this division, would be young males. Do you have any special programs targeted at young males?
Yes, sir. Specifically in the Greenwich Farm area, we have a football competition which includes the police and the young persons in the community. I think it's Wednesdays every week. Each Wednesday we have a night match under the lights at the Greenwich Farm, sir.
Yes.
We also have school mentorship programs at our CSSB group, our Community Safety and Security branch. We have our youth clubs. We have youth club meetings at the stations. We have our homework programs. We have a lot of initiatives that include the youth, and not also the youth, all the other members of the community, both adults and young persons, where we do our walkthroughs on a weekly basis. We have community meetings, and we also have our widely publicized meetings where we ensure that we inform and educate the communities about the initiatives that we have. We are not only here to solve crime through hardcore policing. there is also the softer approach where we engage the communities in partnership with the police.
I think that must be emphasized because the police, in terms of increasing its kinetic activities and really confronting the gangs and undermining and eliminating them, may have portrayed quite a hard exterior. But it is important that the public understands that the police approaches the issue from many different angles.
Yes.
And we do invest a lot of resources in trying to engage the community, particularly young people, to divert them from a life of crime. But the gangs are actively recruiting, actively in the space, encouraging young people to come and join them. And they do that in quite insidious ways. They say, you know, I'll pay your school fee, I'll give you a pair of sneakers. You know, you get into an argument with your parents and they say, come and stay with us for the couple of days. And before you know it, you're in a gang.
Yes, sir. And along that vein, sir, we have school resource officers
Yes.
who are in the high schools and primary schools. So if you go into one of the schools in our policing precinct, anywhere when school starts or anywhere up to half a day, you will find our police officers there meeting with parents, meeting with students, meeting with the school staff.
Excellent. So I take this opportunity to say to our young men in particular, Jamaica is growing. We're doing well economically. There is a place for you. There is a space for you in the economy. In fact, there is a job for you. If you are not skilled, if you are not trained, heart is now free. Take advantage of the opportunities and participate in the economy. There is no excuse that you are involved in crime because of economic circumstances. That excuse won't fly. There are many other Jamaicans, many other young men in particular, who have decided that even though they don't have the economic wherewithal, they don't have the economic benefits, that they are not going to be involved in crime. In fact, there are many, many, many more young men and women who have it hard still like everybody else and they are not in crime. So those who have decided that that's a decision they have made to go into crime, I appeal to them. I appeal sincerely to them to make a decision about your life not to be involved in crime. The government and the police, we are always here to assist as much as we can to deter you from a life of crime. Thank you very much, DSP. Very good.
JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.